Welcome back to Ash's Reality Recaps. This is Married at First Sight, Season 17, Episode 18. Doesn't even matter at this point. This show, this season, is an absolute 100% dumpster fire. Now, the success rate in the last couple of years has been 0%. And I said it in one of the recaps earlier that the success rate for this episode, this season, is going to be 0%. I don't care if anybody stays together on decision day. They're not staying together after decision day. There's absolutely no connection between any of these couples. And the couple that shows that they have connection right now on the show is Chloe and Michael. And look, they've been like sped through this process. All of the couples have, I think, 2 weeks to go until decision day. Michael and Chloe have been married for 7 at the beginning of this episode. They blow through day 7, day 8, and day 9. They had a 2-day honeymoon. After that 2-day honeymoon, they throw them into the couples retreat. My wife and I are trying to figure out, are they going to be part of decision day? Like, are they going to rush them through that fast that, here you get a 2-week married at first sight experience? Because it just doesn't make any sense. They're not gonna make it. I mean, I'm gonna tell you right now, they're not gonna make it. They're both people pleasers. You can see it in their eyes. They're both trying really hard to maintain what's going on in this, and they're really putting on a show for the cameras. They don't stand a chance. I don't even see them making the decision day if they have to go with the normal decision day at this point. So Michael and Chloe rushed through. Shame on the show. Shame on the doctors. Shame on everybody associated with this that they thought this was a good idea to give them a 2-day honeymoon in the mountains of Colorado. Throw them in with the rest of the couples at the group retreat and expect them to be successful. Not a chance. Not a chance. Just the dumbest thing I've ever seen. After Michael and Chloe, we're going to talk about our next couple. All right, next it's Becca and Austin. At the beginning of the show, I was hopeful for these two. It just seemed like they had a connection. It seemed like they were going to be okay. They seemed like they had an attraction towards each other. But basically, at one point, Becca basically said, I will be my own worst enemy and probably ruin this. And lo and behold, if you ask me, she is doing just that. I don't know what's up with Austin. He seems to be detached at this point. I truly, truly don't think that Austin is physically attracted to Becca. It's a shame, but you just watch his mannerisms, watch his body language. He wants to be. He truly likes her for who she is. I just don't think the physical attraction's there, which is unfortunate for both of them. But on top of that, they just keep pushing intimacy. Have you had sex? Have you been touchy-feely? Have you done this? They put so much pressure on this couple from the doctor's standpoint that they basically just tripped them up down the road as it is, because who in the first place wants to be on camera talking about any situation, let alone talking about sexual activity? If you're an introvert or anything like that, it's probably not going to go very well. On top of that, Becca is constantly reminding him about this intimacy and just how important it is to her. So he realized, and in this episode he actually said it, it's gotten to the point that even if I do become physically intimate, you're going to think that I'm doing it just because I'm supposed to, or because it's on camera, or because something's got to be done, because, the pressure being put on me. He's like, it's lost its feel. These two are going to fall apart. I have a feeling from what somebody said in one of the comments at some point in the past that they say yes on decision day. We'll see if they say yes on decision day, but I'm going to tell you right now they're not going to stay together after decision day. They don't stand a chance. There's just something fundamentally wrong between the two of these that they're just not going to work it out. She's incredibly emotional, which is fine. Everybody can be emotional. He is just insanely detached from this whole process at this point. You can see it in his eyes. You can see it in his body. Just not going to happen. Not going to work. This season sucks. It just flat out sucks. Oh boy, Emily and Brennan, what can you say about these two? So Emily got hurt pretty seriously in that four-wheeler accident in the last episode. Brennan jumped off of his four-wheeler and ran to her attention. And now in her drugged-up, drug-induced mentality, she thinks that Brennan's the new individual. And it's just, call a spade, he's not. There's no interaction between the two of them beyond that he does care about her as a friend and as a person. He has no physical attraction to her. He has no sexual attraction to her. He has no romantic attraction to her. You can see it in how he talks. You can see it in how he treats her. Unfortunately, she's duped at this point because she thinks that because he took care of her during this accident that he's going to fall head over heels in love with her. She's got a rude awakening coming here really soon, unfortunately, and just the red flags are evident at this point. The red flags are evident. The flames in the relationship are as prominent as the flames in this dumpster. And this dumpster represents how bad this season is. Let's move on. Lauren and Orion weren't even in this episode, so we're not even going to talk about them. They're divorced at this point. Orion's done everything he can to try to get back with Lauren in the last couple episodes. It's just the production at this point is just kind of trying to force this issue. So we're gonna move on. Not talking about it. Don't care. And finally, Claire and Cameron. This picture basically shows a real representation of how close they are. They're separated at this point. Again, production is doing everything they can to try to push Claire back into Cameron's, life. Cameron likes Claire as a person. He even says in the episode, if she says yes on decision day, I'll say yes on decision day, but ... He doesn't have the attraction towards her. They don't have the attraction towards each other. But at this point, with all of his medical conditions he's gone through, he's got a heart flutter, which is, pretty serious stuff. You can actually hear it in the episode. He has a hard time breathing as he's talking. It's a serious thing. Her feelings towards him seem to be growing because of that motherly attitude that she wants to take care of him. She feels sorry for him. She feels responsible for his situation at this point. So I truly believe that her emotions toward him are just completely misguided because she's looking at what he's going through and feeling like she's responsible for that and she needs to take care of him at this point. They don't have a connection. They fell apart when they started talking about religion and family. They're just not fundamentally right for each other. This is a season, and this entire season that they've gone through, the professionals in this show are just so off basis. They're trying to mix people that don't truly go with each other. I don't get it at this point, and I do not see how the show can continue to air if it has this kind of disastrous year after year performance of 0% success rates. I don't care if they say yes on decision day at this point. The number of them that stay together after decision day is abysmal as it is. Like, they're just not staying together. They aren't set up for success. They're rushed through this. The last successful season that I remember was the COVID season when they actually took 2 weeks away from filming, and the couples got to spend 2 weeks together without a film crew getting to know each other. And even then, only one couple is still together. They're now on their second child, and they are just a huge role model for what this show could be and the potential the show could have if they revamped the way they do this process. But this season sucks. It's a dumpster fire. Watch it if you want to watch it. If not, tune in here and I'll give you a recap because my wife and I will watch it every week because why not? It's something to watch, and it gives me some content to come in here and chat about. So, see you next week. Ash's Reality Recaps. Married at First Sight.